Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sarve Vayam Tavadita Smahetha Kalevaram Yavadaso Vihaya Lokam Param Virajashkam Vishokam Yasyatyaham Bhagavata Pradhana.
We shall all wait here until the foremost devotee of the Lord, Maharaj Parikshit, returns to the supreme planet, which is completely free from all mundane contamination and all kinds of lamentation.
Ashrutya tadrishi ganavacha parikshit samam madhuchud guru cha vyadikam abhasatainanapinandya yuktan shushushamanascharitāni Vishnu.
All that was spoken by the great sages was very sweet to hear, full of meaning and approximately presented as perfectly true. So after hearing them, Maharaj Parikshit, desiring to hear of the activities of Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, congratulated the great sages.
Samagata sarvata eva sarve veda yatha murtidhara sri prishte nehathanamutra cha karshtanartha ritte paranugraham atmashilam.
The king said, O great sages, you have all very kindly assembled here, having come from all parts of the universe. You are all as good as supreme knowledge personified, who resides in the planet above the three worlds, Indulekha. Consequently, you are naturally inclined to do good to others, but for this you have no interest, either in this life or in the next.
Tatascha vaprachamimam vipritched vishabhya vipra iti kratyatayam sarvatmanam niyamaneishta krityam shuddham cha tatram rishisatabhiyukta.
O trustworthy Brahmanas, I now ask you about my immediate duty. Please, after proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, and specifically of those who are just about to die.
Tatra bhavad bhagavan vyasaputro yadrachaya gamatamano napeksha alakshalingo nijalabhatusto vritascha baleravadhutavesha.
At that moment there appeared the powerful son of Vyasadeva, who travelled over the earth disinterested and satisfied with himself. He did not manifest any symptoms of belonging to any social order or status of life. He was surrounded with women and children, and he dressed as if others had neglected him.
Tam dvashtavarsham sukamarapada karorupbhavam sakapolagatram charvayatakshuna satulyakarna subhravananam kambusujata kantham.
This son of Vyasadeva was only 16 years old. His legs, hands, thighs, arms, shoulders, forehead, and other parts of the body were all delicately formed. His eyes were beautifully wide, and his nose and ears were highly raised. He had a very attractive face, and his neck was well formed and beautiful like a conch shell.
Negurajatrum prithatungavakshasam avartanabhim valivargudaram cha digambaram vaktravikirnakesham pralambabahum swamarottamambham.
His collarbone was fleshy, his chest broad and thick, his navel deep, and his abdomen beautifully striped. His arms were long, and curly hair was strewn over his beautiful face. He was naked, and the hue of his body reflected that of Lord Krishna.
Shamam sadapi vyavayongalakshna trisrinam manogyam ruchirasmitena pratyuttitaste munaya swasanibhyas talakshanagyappi guravashasham.
He was blackish and very beautiful due to his youth. Because of the Because of the glamour of his body and his attractive smiles, he was pleasing to women. Though he tried to cover his natural glories, the great sages present there were all expert in the art of physiognomy, and so they honored him by rising from their seats.
स विष्णुरातो तिथया गातया तस्मै सपर्यां शिरसा जहार ततो निवृत्ता यबुधा श्रीदुर्भगा महासिंहेशोपविशेष पूजिता.
I take care.
Maharaj
No, I'll do me. I'll stay.
Hare Krishna reciters, please unmute yourselves.
Maharaj Parikshit, who is also known as Vishnurata, one who is always protected by Vishnu, bowed his head to receive the chief guest, Shukadeva Goswami. At that time, all the ignorant women and boys ceased following Srila Shukadeva. Received respect from all, Shukadeva Goswami took his exalted seat.
तसंवृतस्तत्र महान् महीयासां ब्रह्मर्षि राजर्षि देवर्षि सङ्घे व्यारोचतालं भगवान् यथेन्दुर् व्यहर्षतारनिकैरपरीता.
Shukadeva Goswami was then surrounded by saintly sages and demigods, just as the moon is surrounded by stars, planets, and other heavenly bodies. His presence was gorgeous, and he was respected by all.
प्रशान्तमाशीनमकुन्तमेधसम्मोनिं नृपो भागवतोऽभ्युपेत्य प्रणम्य मूर्ध्ना विधीता कृताञ्जलिं नत्वा गिरासूनृतायान्वपृच्छत्.
The sage Sri Sukadeva Goswami sat perfectly pacified, intelligent, and ready to answer any question without hesitation. The great devotee, Maharaj Parikshit, approached him, offered his respects by bowing before him, and politely inquired with sweet words and folded hands.
Parikshituvacha aho adya vayam brahman satsevya kshatra bandhava कृपयातिथि रूपेण भवद्भिस्तीर्थका कृता.
The fortunate King Parikshit said, O Brahmana, by your mercy only you have sanctified us, making us like unto places of pilgrimage, all by your presence here as my guest. By your mercy, we, who are but unworthy royalty, become eligible to serve the devotee.
येषां संस्मरणात् पुंसां सत्यशुद्ध्यन्ति वै गृहा किं पुनर्दर्शनस्पर्श पादशौचासनादिभिः.
Simply by our remembering you, our houses become instantly sanctified, and what to speak of seeing you, touching you, washing your holy feet, and offering you a seat in our home.
सानिध्याते महायोगिन् पातकानि महन्त्यपि सत्यो नश्यन्ति वै पुंसां विष्णुरिवासुरेतरा.
Just as the atheist cannot remain in the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so also the invulnerable sins of a man are immediately vanquished in your presence, O Saint, O great mystic.
अपि मे भगवान् प्रीता कृष्ण पाण्डु सुता प्रिया पेतर् स्वश्रेय प्रीत्यार्थं तद्गोत्र स्याति बन्धवा.
Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is very dear to the sons of King Pandu, has accepted me as one of those relatives just to please his great cousins and brothers.
अन्यथा ते व्यक्तगते दर्शनं न कथं नृणां नितरां म्रियमाणानां संसिद्धस्य वनीयसा.
Otherwise, without being inspired by Lord Krishna, how is it that you have voluntarily appeared here, though you are moving incognito to the common man and are not visible to us who are on the verge of death?
अथ पृच्छामि संसिद्धिं योगिनां परमं गुरुं पुरुषस्येह यत्कार्यं म्रियमाणस्य सर्वथा.
You are the spiritual master of great saints and devotees. I am therefore begging you to show the way of perfection for all persons, especially for one who is about to die.
यच्छ्रोतव्यं मथो जाप्यं यत्कर्तव्यं नृभिः प्रभो स्मर्तव्यं व्रजनीयं वा ब्रूहि यद्वा विपर्ययम्.
Please let me know what a man should hear, chant, remember, and worship, and also what he should not do. Please explain all this to me.
नूनं भगवतो ब्रह्मन् गृहेषु घ्रामिधेन मां न लक्ष्यते ह्यवस्थानम् अपि गोदोहनं क्वचित्.
O powerful Brahmana, it is said that you hardly stay in the houses of men long enough to milk a cow.
सुत उवाच एवमाभासिता पृष्टा सरज्ञा श्लक्ष्णया गिरा प्रत्यभासत धर्मज्ञो भगवान् बादरायणा.
Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, the king thus spoke and questioned the sage using sweet language. Then the great and powerful personality, the son of Vyasadeva, who knew the principles of religion, began his reply.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the lovely recitations, dear Pavani and Inakshi.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare
I'm just looking at the list and I think Prabhuji hasn't joined yet. So while waiting for Prabhuji to join, do we know whether Prabhuji was going to be late in joining today? Did anyone in the group receive a message? Yeah, Jyoti Mataji, would you know?
Hare Krishna Mataji. No, sorry, I really don't know. But I can call him now. Can I just call him now?
Yes, if you don't mind, please. In
Okay,
the meantime,
yeah.
I will
Okay.
recite the Mangalacharan prayer.
Okay,
Thank
give me
you.
a minute, please. Yeah, thank
Sure,
you.
thank you. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Sri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you very much. So while waiting for Prabhuji to join us, maybe we can read the purports or the two verses that are going to be discussed today. And
Hare Krishna Mataji. I tried
Krishna.
ringing, but it's just ringing, so I'm just waiting for some response.
Okay, so in the meantime, Mataji,
Yeah.
we could have volunteers to read the purports and the translations. And so let me ask what verses are we discussing today, Mataji? 34 and 35, is it?
Today is 25 to 28, Mataji.
25 to 28,
Yeah.
okay. So could you scroll down to 25, please? And I'll ask a volunteer who would like to read the Sanskrit and the translation, and then after that, the purport. So any volunteer to read the Sanskrit, first of all, text 25? Pavani, are you still with us? Okay. Any volunteers?
I can try, Mataji.
Yes, please.
Okay. Tatra bhavad bhagavan vyasapatro yacharya gam atmanonapeksha alakshya lingo nijala bhatitsto vatsa cha balir avadutavesaha. At that moment there appeared the powerful son of Vyasadeva, who travelled over the earth disinterested and satisfied with himself. He did not manifest in any symptoms of belonging to any social order or status of life. He was surrounded with women and children, and he dressed as if others had neglected him. Puppet. The word Bhagavan is sometimes used in relation with some of the great devotees of the Lord, like Sukadeva Goswami. Such liberated souls are disinterested in the affairs of this material world because they are self-satisfied by the great achievements of devotional service. As explained before, Sukadeva Goswami never accepted any formal spiritual master, nor did he undergo any formal reformatory performances. His father, Vyasadeva, was his natural spiritual master because Sukadeva Goswami heard Srimad Bhagavatam from him. After this, he became completely self-satisfied. Thus, he was not dependent on any formal process. The formal processes are necessary for those who are expected to reach the stage of complete liberation, but Sri Sukadeva Goswami was already in that status by the grace of his father. As a young boy, he was expected to be properly dressed, but he went about naked and was uninterested in social customs. He was neglected by the general populace, and inquisitive boys and women surrounded him as if he were a madman. He thus appears on the scene while traveling on the earth of his own accord. It appears that upon the inquiry of Maharaj Parikshit, the great sages were not unanimous in their decision as to what was to be done. For spiritual salvation, there were many prescriptions according to the different modes of different persons. But the ultimate aim of life is to attain the highest perfectional stage of devotional service to the Lord. As doctors differ, so also sages differ in their different prescriptions. While such things were going on, the great and powerful son of Vyasadeva appeared on the scene.
Thank you so much, Jyoti Mataji. So nicely recited. Thank you. And can I invite Girish Prabhu, are you there, please, to read text 26, the Sanskrit verse? Hare Krishna, Girish Prabhu. Or Palika Mataji. Okay. Any
Mataji Prabhuji is coming. He is reading. Hare
Oh,
Krishna.
thank you. Thank you so much.
My glass is 1 minute.
That's fine. And then after that, the English translation, Shibani Mataji, if you could do the translation and the purport, please. Thank you.
Okay, Mataji. Text 26. Tvam dvayastavasham sukumara pada karoru bhav amsa kapolo gatram charvayat koshanasha tulya karna swabhavanam kambu sujata kantham.
Translation.
We can't hear you, Shabani Mataji. Shabani Mataji, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me now, Mataji?
Oh, yes, it's now it's better. Thank you.
Sorry, Mataji. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This son of Vyasadeva was only 16 years old. His legs, hands, thighs, arms, shoulders, forehead, and the other parts of his body were all delicately formed. His eyes were beautifully wide, and his nose and ears were highly raised. He had a very attractive face, and his neck was well formed and beautiful like a conch shell. Hare Krishna. Do
Hare
I need to read the purport?
And the purport as well, please, Mataji.
Thank you. A respectable personality is described beginning with the legs, and this honored system is observed here with Sukadev Goswami. He was only 16 years of age. A person is honored for his achievements and not for advanced age. A person can be older by experience and not by age. Sri Sukadev Goswami, who is described herein as the son of Vyasadeva, was by his knowledge more experienced than all the sages present there, although he was only 16 years old. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Girish Prabhu and Shabani Mataji. So one more text we have to read, which is text 27. Any volunteer for the Sanskrit, please? Indulekha Mataji, would you like to read the Sanskrit, please?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, I can try.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Niguda jatrum pritutungavakshasam avartanabhim balivalgu dharam cha digambaram Pakravikirna kesam kalambhavahum samarotam samabham.
Thank you,
Translation.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Can I invite Chetna Mataji? Would you like to read the translation and purport, please?
Yeah, sure. His collarbone was fleshy, his chest broad and thick, his navel deep, and his abdomen beautifully striped. His arms were long, and curly hair was strewn over his beautiful face. He was naked, and the hue of his body reflected that of Lord Krishna. Purport. His bodily features indicate him to be different from common men. All the signs described in connection with the bodily features of Shukadeva Goswami are uncommon symptoms, typically of great personalities. According to physiognomical calculations, his bodily hue resembled that of Lord Krishna, who is supreme among the gods, demigods, and of all living beings. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for the lovely recitations, Indulekha Mataji and Chetna Mataji. Jyoti Mataji, we're doing text 28 as well, are we?
Yes, Mataji, 28 is
Thank
it 25 to 28. Yes, please.
Thank you. So let me see who would like to recite the Sanskrit. Any volunteers for the Sanskrit, please? Shubhada Mataji, are you there? Hare Krishna, Shubhada
Yes,
Mataji. Could you
Hare
read?
Krishna.
Could you
Yes,
read the
sure.
Sanskrit, please? Thank you.
Oh, this is English Sanskrit. Yeah, I can read Sanskrit actually. Okay, let me try. Shamam sad Shamam sadapi vyavayo lakshman. Sorry, can you increase the font, by the way? Okay, don't worry. Stritnam manojnana ruchira smitena pratyutistas te munaya swasanebhyas tal lakshana jana api gudhavarasham.
Thank you very much, Shubhada Mataji. Nicely recited. And the English translation, please. Any volunteer for the English translation? Yashwini Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna. He was blackish and very beautiful due to his youth. Because of the glamour of his body and his attractive smiles, he was pleasing to women. Though he tried to cover his natural glories, the great sages present there were all expert in the art of physiognomy, and so they honored him by rising from their seats.
Thank you so much. Beautiful recitations. So, okay, those are the four verses for discussion today. And Jyoti Mataji, what's the latest regarding Prabhuji joining us? Any updates at all?
No, Mataji, no update at all. No
Okay,
message or no response from him.
response. Okay. So what we can do, dear devotees, maybe I can ask Indulekha Mataji to give us a summary of the verses, the recited verses. Is that okay with you, Indulekha Mataji? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Would
Hare
you
Krishna
mind?
Mataji. I can try.
No.
If we go back, let me read the verse, the translation, and the purport, and I can try.
Thank you so much. Sorry to put you on the spot like this.
No, it's okay, Mataji. I think it's better when I'm on the spot. Okay. So which one are we? Are we 25, right?
Yes, 25. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I'll read the translation and the purport so that I can understand better. Okay. So okay. At that moment, there appeared the powerful son of Vyasdeva, who traveled over the earth, disinterested. Oh, I think you're going too far. Yeah, disinterested and satisfied with himself. He did not manifest any symptoms of belonging to any social order or status of life. He was surrounded with women and children, and he dressed as if others had neglected him. So here we are talking about Sukdev Goswami, right? So if we go back, we will see the life of Sukdev Goswami when he was in the womb of his mother. He didn't want to come out because he told his mother was in much pain, and then his father was pleading, please come out, and he said, no, when I come out, Maya will catch me. So he didn't want to come out. So Krishna himself had to go there just to pacify him and to make sure that Krishna told him that Maya will not catch you, I will protect you. So then after he heard that Krishna gives him assurance, then he decided to come out. And that was a long time. Like some people say 14 years, some people say 16 years. I'm not too sure which one, but yes, we may say about 14 years. Because when he sit by the river Ganga to preach to Parikshit Maharaj, he was 16 years old by then. But in between, he went in the forest, he learned the Bhagavatam and all, and he was roaming the world, right? So here it's explaining how beautiful he was. And also he says, so he says the word Bhagavan is sometimes used in relation with some of the great devotees of the Lord. Yeah, we say, sometimes we say, like for Lord Shiva, we say Ishvara, but like a reference for Ishvara is when we say in the Vishnu Sahasranam, at the end, Ishvara Uvacha. So Lord Shiva says Parvati Mata when he's narrating the Bhagavatam. So that the Vishnu Sahasranam, that is there to show that other living entities also are called Ishvara or Bhagavan, but they are not Ishvara, they are not Bhagavan. It's kind of a little title that give them sometimes. So here we see when you say Ishvara Uvacha, Sri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame Mano Rame Sahasranama Tatulyam Rama Nama Varanane, that is telling Lord Mata Parvati, one name of free name of Lord Ram is equal to one name of Krishna. So here, I'm just giving you an example where he is called Ishvara. Here we see Sukadeva Goswami is called Bhagavan. The word Bhagavan is sometimes used in relation with some of the great devotees of the Lord, like Sukadeva Goswami. Such liberated souls are disinterested in the affairs of the material world because they are self-satisfied by the great achievement of devotional service. Now, there is something here that I would like to point out. You know, Sukadeva Goswami, he was really somebody who had done devotional service, because all the great sages who were by the river Ganga, when Parikshit Maharaj was talking to them, none of them could tell Parikshit Maharaj what to do, but Sukadeva Goswami could tell what to do. They came with so many like suggestions. Like some of them were telling to keep moon vrat, some of them give charity, some of them do other things, but none of them told him to listen to Bhagavad Katha for the last 7 days of his life. So also it is saying that I said, okay, let me keep reading. But as explained before, Sukadeva Goswami never accepted any formal spiritual master, nor did he undergo any formal reformatory performances. Yes, as soon as he came out of the womb of his mother, he was like old enough. He ran away. He ran from home, and he went in the forest. And his father was shouting, was running after him and calling him. And all that his father could hear was an echo of the trees repeating what he was telling. "Hey putra, ho putra, come back, oh son, come back." And all that he could hear was an echoing. Now, when he was running away from home, his father was running after him, but when he crossed a bridge, there was some young girls were bathing in the river, and they didn't do anything. They just kept having the bath in the river naked. But as soon as Vyasadeva, his father, was running after him, as soon as he came near that river, all the girls immediately covered themselves. So then Vyasadeva asked, "My young son has just passed and you didn't do anything. I am like your grandfather, old enough to be your grandfather. Why are you covering yourself?" Then the girls replied that he is a realized person. He doesn't understand, and he doesn't compare, male, female, who we are, who we are not. But whereas you are in Grihastha, and you there is a difference between you and him. He is very elevated. So that means that he was more elevated than his father, because his father was by the river Ganga also. Why his father didn't do anything, didn't say anything, didn't tell Parikshit Maharaj what to do? When he came, then he suggested to listen to the Bhagavad Katha. Also, people were following him, and he was never interested in putting any garment on his body. And people were following him. The children were throwing stones at him, and women were following him because he was so handsome. And description is given of his arm and of his hair and everything, I think, in this purport here. So he is like, after this, I will read a little bit more, and I'll try to explain some more. So after this, he became completely self-satisfied. Thus, he had not depended on any formal process. Yes, You know, when a child is born, even in our days, in our culture, we do some ceremonies. We I don't know, different culture, different people following different system in the family. They will do something like after the child is born, there is to cut the hair, or to give him a bath, and then call some priest to do some ritual in the house. And then we have when the child starts eating some grains, another ceremony to be done. So all these are there. But for Sukdev Goswami, he didn't need anything. He didn't have anything. He just ran away from home. So he didn't undergo any of these ceremonies. He didn't want them. And so again, it continues here. This is the formal processes are necessary for those who are expected to reach a stage of complete liberation. But Sukdev Goswami, he was already at that stage. So, and he says, was already in that status by the grace of his father. So his father was also a great personality. So by the grace of his father, he did not need. Maybe I may be speculating. Maybe the father had already done all these procedures while he was still in the womb of his mother, because he stayed there for so long. I don't know. It's just an speculation. So people can you can correct me, anyone, if I'm wrong. So yes, and also it is saying, I just said that as a young boy he was expected to be properly dressed, but he was naked. He was not interested in wearing anything on his body, and people took him to be mad. And so that's why they were following him wherever he was going. But when he reached the assembly of the sages by the river Ganga, then the woman and the children, they just left him alone, and they went away. Then they realized how great personality he was. So then they stopped harassing him, because it was kind of harassing when they were after him. And so yes, the ultimate aim of life is to attain the highest perfectional stage of devotional service to the Lord. So Dr. Shakopa's purpose. Yes. So we see also when as soon as he went there, all the great leaders stood up. They find him an asana, a suitable place, higher than everyone. Everyone was sitting below, and he was sitting on a higher asana. It doesn't matter he was naked or not, but they gave him a higher stage to sit on. And Parikshit Maharaj sat at his feet, and then Parikshit Maharaj asked him what he should be doing for the last 7 days of his life. In this way, then Sukdev Goswami told him that he should be listening to the Bhagavad Gita for the last 7 days of his life. So anybody else to continue, or shall I check the other?
Hare Krishna Mataji, just a gentle reminder that at 8:40 we're having the Damodar Ashtakam being performed by Shailesh Prabhuji and Kirti Mataji and family. So at 8:40 we're having the Damodar Ashtakam. Would you be able to briefly summarize the next 3 verses, please?
Okay. How many minutes I've got?
So now it's now 25 past. So we'll stop at 8:40. We have 15 minutes, Mataji.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So we see here, text 26. The son of Vyasadevi was only 16 years old, right? His legs, hands, thighs, arms, shoulders, forehead, and other parts of his body were all delicately formed. His eyes were beautifully wide, and his nose and ears were highly raised. He had a very attractive face, and his neck was well formed and beautiful like a conch shell. So this description is being given about his bodily feature, how he was. So we see a little bit he's like Krishna. It's here how he was. But one thing that I find sometimes I find it a bit difficult to understand. You know, Parikshit Maharaj was a great king, and he was an emperor. And Sukdev Goswami, he was a realized person. He was roaming around. He has been roaming around but they never met. They never met because Sukadeva Goswami also, he would not go to anybody. He would go only to the Grihasta's place, and he will wait. He will not stay for long. He will wait only for like the time that the Grihasta, he milks a cow, and they will give him a glass of milk, and that's it. He will leave from there. That also, he didn't go for the milk. He didn't need that as such. Why did he go to the Grihastas? Because he wanted to bless them. Because Grihastas play a great role in the system, in the Grihastashrama or the Varnashrama system. Because the Brahmanas, they don't work. They're not supposed to be working. You get the brahmacharis, they don't work, they study. But the Brahmanas, they just teach, they give their knowledge. And then we got Grihasta, and then we got Sannyasa. Grihasta, they are the only one who are the householders, the only one who are working, and they were supposed to support all the caste, all the other castes, because they were the one who were earning money. So they were supposed to give the Brahmanas. That's why the qualified Brahmanas will go to their place and then to bless them so that they can continue their life. But it was not like just working and earning. They had a spiritual life also. So here also, Parikshit Maharaj never went to the king. This is the first time he was meeting Sukadeva Goswami. Although he used to roam around, because he used to go and conquer the rest of the kingdom, but he never met Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami also never met him. And this shows how much he was detached, and how much he didn't want to get the kind of mingle with other people, because he prepared his life to spend in devotional life and in the forest. Although he didn't stay for long even at his father's place. When he left home, his father wanted to bring him back, so his father sent his disciple, and he taught them some of the verses from the Bhagavatam, and they went to the forest and they started chanting these verses loudly. So when Sukadeva Goswami heard these verses, he was attracted towards those disciples of his father, and he asked them, where did they learn it from? And they told him that they learned from his father. Then they were able to take him home. And which verses also, they recited the verses where Putana went to kill Krishna. Then when he heard that, he even cried, because he said, how come Krishna was so merciful? Even Putana went to kill him, but he gave Putana the place of a mother. So then that verse, in particular, that verse took him back to his father's place. That's how he went to his father's place. But here we see in the purport of Prabhupada, he said, a respectable personality is described beginning with the legs, and this honored system is observed here with Sukadeva Goswami. So he was only 60 years of age. A person is honored for his achievement and not for advanced age. So a person can be older by experience and not by age. So Sukadeva Goswami, who is described herein as a son of Vyasadeva, was by his knowledge more experienced than all the sages present there, although he was only 16 years old. We can see that in our material life here, in the mundane life. We can hear about the prime minister, his name on the news, but he may be much younger than many of us, but we never hear our name unless we commit something great offense, a crime or something of then. But because of their deed, because of their knowledge, because of their capacity of being a prime minister, that's why their name is being repeated on the news. But as for there maybe millions of people that's much older than him, but their name are not coming on the news as his name. Here also we see that Sukadeva Goswami, he was very young. He was a very comparing to all the sages present there. He was very young. He was only 16 years old. Whereas some of the sages may be more than 100, 200, 300 years old. but they gave him this honor. They put him on the Vyasasana. So, okay, this is text 27, right? His collarbone was fleshy, his chest was broad and thick. This is again describing his bodily feature, how handsome he was. And okay, so let's move to text 28. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, sorry, Mataji, please go ahead. I think we've got 8 more minutes.
Can we move to text 28, please? So I can read.
Jyoti Mataji, please scroll up, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so translation again. He was blackish and very beautiful due to his youth. Because of the glamour of his body and his attractive smile, he was pleasing to women, though he tried to cover his natural glories. The great sages present there were all expert in the art of physiognomy, and so they honored him by rising from their seats. So I already talked about this. So yes, they all honored him, and even he was younger than all of them. Yes, they stood up just to receive him. So we see even at Naimisharanya, all the sages, they were great sages, also older sages than Sutta Goswami. But when Sutta Goswami arrived at that place, all of them stood up. They were doing the 1,000 years yagna to prevent Kali from entering the world. And immediately they put all the fire off, put water in all the fire kunda, and then they received the Sutta Goswami nicely, and they gave him nice asan. Here also we see the same thing is happening. When they saw this young Sukadeva Goswami arriving, they all just stood up and welcomed him. Same thing happened with Sutta Goswami. So this showed us how great personalities should be welcomed whenever they come. Whereas what happened to Sutta Goswami's father? So Sutta Goswami's father is Romaharshana Rishi. He was doing katha, and Lord Balaram went there, but he did not stand up. He did not stand up. He keeps sitting, and Lord Balaram realized that this person is fucked up, because Lord Balaram is not different from Krishna. So why he didn't stand up? So Lord Balaram took a blade of grass and cut his head off. And then, because he was so learned, and Sutta Goswami was very, very young at that time, so with his power, Lord Balaram, he transferred all the knowledge of Romaharshana Rishi to Sutta Goswami. So then Sutta Goswami became very learned also. By his power, Lord Balaram transferred all his knowledge to the son, because they didn't want to lose all those knowledge that he had, so transferred it to his son. So Sutta Goswami also was as brilliant as his father, and he also was roaming around. So when he reached Naimisharanya, all the sages there, they stood up and they welcomed him, and only one of the sages could talk, not all of them. So then Sonata Rishi, he was the one who was asking the question from Sutta Goswami. So we see when great personalities, when we recognize the great personality, when we know that this personality is, even when we are at the temple or somewhere, we see like one of the Maharaj coming. It doesn't matter where we are. We have to bow down. We have to pay our obeisances to that Maharaj, because he is a great personality, and we are nothing in front of them. So we should give that kind of respect, and we see it right from here. And they are not ordinary people like us. They are all great sages. Yet they bow down to Sukadeva Goswami, and they allow him to have the Vyasasana. So Mataji, I hope I have been able to a little bit out of my senile brain of 70 years old. So please forgive me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear Mataji. Thank you so much. Very well explained. And I'm really grateful to you for stepping in to cover for Prabhuji, Krishna Govinda Prabhuji. We don't know why he wasn't able to join us tonight. We did not receive any prior notification that he wasn't able to join us. So once again, dear devotees, sincere apologies that Prabhuji was unable to join us for whatever reason. And I thank Indulekha Mataji so much for the summarizations. Thank you so much.
Hare
So
Krishna.
thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
So now we come to the Damodar Ashtakam session, and may I invite Sailesh Prabhuji. Sailesh Prabhuji, are you ready to perform and to sing the Ashtakam?
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Thank you so much. Over to you. Thank you.
Nama Vishwaram Sachit Anandarupa Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajaman Nama Vishwaram Sachit Anandarupa Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajaman Yashoda Vyoruka Nada Pamana Yashoda Vyoruka Nada Pamana Paramrisamaya Paramrisamaya Todutagopya Tanta Nitra Yogmamre Jantam Paramboja Yugmena Sartam Ganetram Tanta Nitra Yogmamre Jantam Paramboja Yugmena Sartam Ganetram Mosmasakam Pati Ekanta Kanta Mosmasakam Pati Ekanta Kanta Stita Grinandam Bhakti Bhagam Stita Grinandam Udaram Idriksvale Labhe Ananda Kure Svagoshame Majantam Akya Payantam Idriksvale Labhe Ananda Kure Svagoshame Majantam Akya Payantam Adiyasnagneshu Bhakti Jitatvam Adiyasnagneshu Bhakti Jitatvam Namrimatastam Sata Priti Vande Varandeva Mokshana Mokshavadeva Jayam Vindeham Vadeshadapiha Varandeva Mokshana Mokshavadeva Jayam Vindeham Vadeshadapiha Idante Vapurnana Gopala Palam Idante Vapurnana Gopala Palam Sada Vimanasya Vilasantimaneya Sada Vimanasya Vilasantimaneya Idante Mukambojam Atyantani Vitam Kundalaishnikdara Taishakopya Vidante Mukambojam Atyantani Vitam Kundalaishnikdara Taishakopya Chumbitam Bimba Ratnagarambe Mohos Chumbitam Bimba Ratnagarambe Anyasya Virastamalam Anasya Namo Devata Moda Anantare Sida Prabodhuka Jala Vimagnam Namo Devata Moda Anantare Sida Prabodhuka Jala Vimagnam Kripadrishi Veshyati Dinam Vatanu Kripadrishi Veshyati Dinam Vatanu Kripadesha Mama Yadeya Kripadesha Mama Yadeya Ayamuchito bhakti bhajo krito ja Uberatmajo bhada murtyayvaya Ayamuchito bhakti bhajo krito ja Tata prema bhaktim svam Kame priyacha Tata prema bhaktim svam Kame priyacha Namokshe graho Damodare Namokshe graho Mesti Damodare Namokshe graho Mesti Namaste Studande Radipti Dame Vadiyodharaya Kaveshvashadame Namaste Studande Radipti Dame Vadiyodharaya Kaveshvashadame Namuradhikaya Priyaya Namuradhikaya Priyaya Namo Radhikaya Tvam Diyai Priyaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Namo Vishwadam Sachiv Anandaru Sakalavam Sukule Namo Vishwadam Sachiv Anandaru Sakalavam Gokule Prajamanam
The Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of eternal existence, knowledge, and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who is beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokul, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from a swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear of Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances.
Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To this Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with rose but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances.
By such childhood pastimes as this, he is drowning the inhabitants of Gokul in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who are absorbed in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With great love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Sri Damodar, hundreds and hundreds of times.
O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of eternal life in Vaikuntha, nor any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Balagopal Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me of any other boon besides this?
O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissed again and again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands and thousands of other benedictions are of no use to me.
O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master, O my Lord, be pleased upon me. By showering your glance of mercy upon me, deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes.
O Lord Damodar, just as the two sons of Kuvera, Manikriva and Nalakuvera, were delivered from the curse of Narad and made into great devotees by you in your form as a baby tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar, in the same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation.
O Lord Damodar, I first of all offer my obeisances to the brilliantly effulgent rope which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer all obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord who displays unlimited pastimes. Shri Shri Radha Damodar ki jai. Shri Shri Yashoda Damodar ki jai. Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Damodar Damodar Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe. Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada, Jai Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Srila Gurudev, Jai Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Srila Gurudev.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, Prabhuji's and Mataji. You have a beautiful temple, Prabhuji, and everything is so transcendental. Thank you so much. So I think, dear devotees, we can all unmute and say 3 loud Hari Bols to Prabhuji and family.
Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol. Thank you,
Bol.
Prabhuji, for the beautiful darshan. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the nice darshan of your deities.
Wonderful.
So now, dear devotees, let's say our Vaishnava prayer before we end the session. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa
Sindhu
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Prabhupada. Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji. Thank you,
Hare
everyone.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.